Hi friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. For today's video, I am going to be playing catch up with my budget. If you missed my budget closeout video that I posted earlier this week, I talked all about in that video how the week of January 21st through the 27th, I think, was the week that wasn't. I didn't budget, I didn't plan, I didn't do anything except be super sick and try to recuperate. And so now, moving forward, I have some catching up to do with my budget. So technically the week that we are budgeting for today is the week of January 28th through February 3rd. I really wanted to switch to my February budget worksheets. Let me show them to you guys. They're beautiful. Here they are. I would have shown them to you sooner, but like I said, last week I was so sick. These are available already. If you would like to get your hands on these, aren't they just gorgeous? I love the pink and the black. It just reminds me of like a composition book. Very Valentine's Day-y without being like too over the top. I love that pop of pink. You can get these by joining my channel membership at the link below in either the Budget Buddy tier if you want a Paycheck budget worksheet and the 2-page hybrid budget worksheet, or if you want all of the worksheets, and there's quite a few, friends, you can join the Budget Bestie tier. So the link to join my membership will be down below. You can download them and print them as many times as you would like. I've got dated worksheets, I've got undated worksheets. I really wanted to move into these, but I did refrain because I've got, you know, these worksheets left from January since I was sick last week. So we're still in the January worksheets, but just know my heart has already moved on to February, okay? So usually when I do my paycheck budgets, I'm working with $1,600. However, because I didn't budget last week and I didn't track my spending and I didn't do any of those things, I didn't even transfer my money for my next month's bills category and all of that. I need to play catch up with that. So I'm gonna do my typical $1,600 plus the $700 that I need for next month's bills from last week, plus the money that I would be stuffing into my sinking funds. So let me just figure what that is really quick. It's not going to be an additional $1,600 because I'm not worrying about variable categories from last week, because the week's already over. There's no sense. But obviously I need to make sure I take care of my bills, and I want to make sure I take care of my savings. So we need an additional $700 for next month's bills, and then we need an additional, what is it, $350 for savings. Yeah, so $2,650 is what we're going to work with total. It's a little bit different. That means that we're not going to do long-term savings from last week, but I do want to get my short-term savings from last week down at least. This is your first time watching me. You're probably like, what is this girl talking about? I suggest you watch a different paycheck budget video since this is so different from what I usually do. But $2,650 is what we're working with. Some money from last week and the money that I need to make this week happen. So for next month's bills, I am a month ahead on my bills, so each week I set aside a certain amount to go into a checking account where all of my bills are paid. We need the $700 from this week and the $700 from last week, so a total of $1,400. And that's it for my fixed expenses. All of my bills fall under this fixed expenses category. Actually, that's not true. Not all of my bills. Some of the bills I don't have here. They're paid outside of this paycheck budget. Just things that I decide to keep private or whatever. But this is what I need to make this happen, to catch my next month's bills account back up to where it should be. Okay, so $1,400. For variable expenses, we are just doing the 1 week. Okay? So for my variable categories, it's grocery, eating out, and spending. I've had some people ask me, like, what about gas? Or what about, you know, fund money? All of those things are taken care of in a separate budget. I keep some things private to myself. This is what I'm comfortable sharing on the internet. So this is the categories that we budget from this paycheck budget money. So for groceries, I'm gonna budget $150. For eating out, I'm gonna budget $100. For spending, I'm gonna budget $50. That's what I've been doing all throughout January. It's been working fairly well, so we're gonna stick with it. And the amount in total is $300. Okay, moving up here to sinking funds. So I have a few categories that I break this down. I've got high priority, low priority. I've got my no spend days, and I have my minis. Sorry you guys, I had a little brain malfunction there. So these are all things that are essentially short-term savings. I call those my sinking funds, and I've got them broken down a few ways. My high priority funds are things that are super important that I need to be touching and adding money to every single day. And for those funds, we're gonna budget $200 per week, last week and this week, so $400. I am gonna be stuffing that today in this video, so stay tuned for that. That's money that just comes directly out of the bank and gets stuffed into those funds. My low priority funds, these are funds that aren't as important. They're still things that I want to fund, but they don't necessarily have to be added to every single week. And for those, I like to play fun savings challenges with. And for those, we're gonna do $300. So $150 from last week, $150 from this week. And those envelopes I'm actually gonna stuff in a separate video because we have so much money over the course of the 2 weeks. I'm gonna break it up a little bit. So you will see my savings challenge games for my low priority binder later on this week. For no spend days, I actually don't budget for this, but any day throughout the week, as I'm tracking my expenses that I didn't spend from this variable category down here, I like to reward myself for that and put $5 into savings. So I don't budget for it because I don't know for sure that I'm gonna have a no spend day. I just like to have the line item here so that I can fill in the actual column at the end of the week. So if, for example, I don't spend anything from this variable category on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, then that's 3 no spend days. I would add $15 to savings. And typically that money ends up either in my high or low priority binder or in my minis. It just kind of depends on the week, but it's just a fun little challenge for myself to spend as little as possible, right? And then my minis, anything that I have left over at the end of the week from this variable category gets stuffed into my mini savings challenges. So again, I'm not gonna budget anything for it, but I leave the actual line open there for whatever the actual amount is. So this week then, the amount that I'm setting aside for sinking funds is $700. I will be stuffing that over the course of this video and the next video that you see. And then at the end of the week, if there's anything in this actual column that's different, it'll get stuffed then. Okay? So we are still credit card debt free. We do have debts, but we're not focusing on them right now. So we're not gonna add anything to extra debt. Our focus for 2025 is savings, both short-term savings and long-term savings, which is what we're gonna do with whatever's left here. So we started with $2,650. For fixed expenses, we have that $1,400. For variable expenses, $300. For sinking funds, $700. Nothing to extra debt. Let me pull in my calculator and hopefully this all works out and I didn't mess anything up. $2,650 minus 1,400, minus 300, minus 700, leaves us with 250 remaining. That 250, the plan is for it to sit in my account to act as a buffer, and at the end of the month, which will be next week, anything that I have left in that buffer will go to my long-term savings account. So that's the plan. It all looks really good. Let me switch gears and get stuffing my high priority binder. That's what you're gonna see in this video. We're gonna stuff $400. So I'm gonna grab that out. We'll switch gears and get that stuffed. Be right back. All right, my friends, so here I have my high priority binder. Let me get my phone out of the way here. These are all of the sinking funds that I want to be touching and adding money to every single week. You guys can see I wrote on myself with Sharpie in the last video I was filming, so sorry about that. $400 is what I have here, and I did it all in 20s just to make it easier on myself. So let's count it up. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400. And I just realized that when I broke down what I was going to be putting into these envelopes, I think a couple of these categories are getting denominations where I'm going to need tens. So hopefully I can make some change with what I have in my envelopes, and if not, I do have some cash off to the side to be used for my next video, which is my savings challenges, so I might need to dig into that money to make this work. I wasn't thinking, I just pulled out all 20s, but I definitely didn't break it down that way, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, starting with my first category here, which is my son Austin. Austin is a junior in high school. He just turned 17 and he's expensive. So anything that he needs for school or soccer or whatever comes out of this fund. Today is January 28th. And right off the bat, I'm gonna need change because I said that this is gonna get $50 and bring it up to a total of $350. So let me see what I have in here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some change for sure. Be right back, let me make some change. Alright, I traded some of those 20s out for 10s, so hopefully this will break down a little bit easier. And I didn't bring in my cash tray, so we're just gonna set this up like this and go from there. So 20, 40, 50. We'll add that to the existing 300 to get a total of 350. I always like to double and triple count my cash because I'm bad at math and I make mistakes. So that is Austin's fund. Next up, I have camping, and our camping fund is going to get $40 to bring this up to $440. So we'll add 2 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40. Okay. Next, I have my car sinking fund. My car fund is going to get 40. And that's going to bring it up to an even 100. $20, $40, $60, $80, $100. So this fund is for car maintenance and car tabs, that sort of thing. My emergency fund here is going to get 40 as well. These trackers, by the way, are from Savannah over at Sav Saves. I love them. I think they're so beautiful. So we're going to add $40, so 2 20s, and part of this is in the bank. So anytime my fund gets up to $500, I take that cash and I put it into a high yield savings account, and I just put prop money in its place so that I remember that I do have this money, it's just not on hand. I like to deal in cash. My husband recently told me I should just switch to all prop money because it would make my life so much easier not having to go back and forth to the bank every week. I don't know if I want to do that, you guys. For one, I feel like it might affect viewership on my videos. Like, would you continue to watch if I switch to all prop money? I don't know. I am in two minds about it because it would make it a lot easier every week, but I don't know. You guys will have to leave me some feedback on that. I do love having the cash and being able to count it, having it be tangible. And the prop money, I guess, technically is tangible, but I don't know how I feel. Anyways, it's a total of 540, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 in the bank, and then 40 here in cash for a total of 540. All right, next up is my home sinking fund, and this one is gonna get 40 as well to bring it up to an even 300, which feels really, really good. These add up so quickly. So 20, 40. I've been trying really hard not to get into these and spend the money unless I absolutely have to. I've been cash flowing what I can, because I want these funds to build up. I want to have the funds should I need them in the future. And it really makes me think about whether or not I really need something. Like, do I really need that X, Y, and Z? Because if I really want it and I can't cash flow it, I have to pull from my sinking funds. And I don't like having to take money out of here if I don't need to. Anyways, 300, 100, 250, 70, 90, 300. And this is for anything that we need for the home. If we want to do home decor or decorations or that sort of thing. All right, insurance. This is for my homeowners insurance, not car insurance. We pay car insurance every month, a ridiculously huge amount of money because we have so many vehicles and because we live in Michigan where the car insurance premiums are astronomical. I'd love one day to be able to pay my car insurance every 6 months or once a year, but we are not there. It's just too much money to try to come up with all at once. So this is my homeowner's insurance. We live in a mobile home. It doesn't cost that much to insure. And we're adding $30 to this. And that's going to bring this up to 430. So a 20 and a 10. So we have 100, 250, 350, 400, 20, 30. So pretty soon here we'll be at 500 and we'll have to do placeholders for this too. Like I said, it's a fine line because I like to have cash, but I don't like to have too much cash. So, I don't know. We'll revisit the placeholder thing at a later date. Speaking of placeholders, there's placeholders in this fund as well. This is my medical fund. I need to dig into this and take some money out. Austin's been doing physical therapy. Originally they said it was going to be 2 days a week for the first couple of weeks and then bump up to 3 days a week, but he's doing so well that they're actually just going to keep him at 2 days a week, which is good news because it's expensive. Every time he goes, it's like a $50 copay. So, been able to cash flow it for the most part, but I do need to pull some money out of here to make those ends meet. For now though, we're just going to add $50, which is going to bring this up to 700. 500 of it is in the bank, so we'll add 2 20s and a 10. So you can see the placeholders there. I like to put little stickers on them so that it's very, very clear. Like, this clearly looks like prop money, but sometimes in videos it's hard to tell, and I want to be transparent. Like, this is not real money here. It represents real money that's in the bank, but it's not real money, okay? So 700 is what I should have here. 500 in the bank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 in the bank. And then 50, 100, 50, 70, 90, 200 in cash. So that's my medical fund. This will probably be lower next time you see it. Okay. Pet expenses is going to get $50. This is for vet visits, any medications my animals need. I have 3 fur babies, 2 cats, and a dog. And they're expensive, just like my kids. So $400 going in here. So that's that last 10 and 2 20s. So we have 100, 250, 350, 70, 90, 400. Okay. For subscriptions, we're adding 20. And that's going to bring this up to $370. 100, 250, 70, 90, 310, 330, 350, 370. And last but not least, we have vacations. Vacations isn't usually in my high priority binder. It kind of switches back and forth. Whenever we book a vacation, it gets slotted into high priority so that we can pay everything off. And then when we're in between vacations and we're just kind of saving without a set goal or purpose, it goes in low priority. Right now it's in high priority because we have a anniversary trip coming up, just like a staycation in March, and we need to be focusing on it. So we're going to add 40 to the 200 that's already in there and bring it up to $240. That's my last 2 20s, and we're going to stick it in here. I just recently added some money in here from a mini savings challenge as well, so there's a lot of small bills in here, so it's pretty fat, but let's just count it, make sure it's 240. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 240. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for my savings challenge games, my low priority cash stuffing coming up later this week. That'll be a separate video, so stay tuned for that. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure that you do. Check out the link down below for my February budget printables if you're interested, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.